tell me why I was gonna say no and then I ended up getting gifted this thing for Christmas. You will be hand pumping that anytime you need water. This is what I wish I could see from more brands. Hello there and welcome back to another video. My name is Lainey Jean if you're new here, and if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back and watching another video. Today we are going to talk about de-influencing. I made a post on my community tab about 2 weeks ago asking my followers to submit anything that they want me to de-influence them from, and some of you also asked me to influence you on a few things. So I'm going to take a look and tell you whether or not I think these items you sent me are worth purchasing, and look at it from an outsider's perspective, because sometimes it is good to have that outside voice like try to give you a bit of reason and sense when you really want something or you're on the fence about something. With that being said though, quick little disclaimer, I am just sharing my opinions. Take it or leave it. Take it with a grain of salt, if you will. I'm not an expert on any of these things. I'm just sharing what I know and what I was able to learn through doing a little bit of research on every item that people sent in. So with all that being said, let's get into today's video. The first item we are going to be talking about is the QuenchSea 3.0. This is a home desolation device, I believe is what they're called. The person that submitted this said that they were hoping to have one for their sailboat or home, and this is a type of seawater desolation device. Also, do not mind me looking down at my computer here. I took a bunch of notes on this because I'm not very well informed on what these machines are. So I had a bit of fun learning about them as much as I could within about a 30 to 45 minute span. The QuenchSea 3.0 is a low-cost portable manual powered device that turns seawater into drinkable fresh water. It is priced at $400, and the person that submitted this said that they don't like that the filters are proprietary and they would like to hack a homebrew, which from my understanding of what that means is find a way to make one yourself or take parts of older machines you already have, put them together to make a new one, or fix up one that you already have. So because they said that they don't like the filters are proprietary, I feel it is important that I tell you what a proprietary filter is. It's a brand specific filtration product that uses unique patented technology, custom components, and non-standard sizes. Basically means that if they want to replace the filters, they have to buy them from the brand that made this specific filter. Otherwise, other filters will not fit or work with this machine, which means that however it is priced by this brand is what they have to pay, and they must always buy the filters from this company, which can get inconvenient if you don't have access to it. If you live on a sailboat and you're sailing somewhere and they can't send it to you and you need a new one, that could be very inconvenient. I don't know if you're actually like sailing around the world or if you're staying in a port or what you're doing, but thinking about what situation you would be in if you weren't able to get one of those filters to you, the inconvenience of that, which I'm sure you've already thought of. I did a little bit of Googling and found that most of these machines are between $1.5K and $5,000 for electric or gas run desolation devices, which is a pretty penny to be spending, but I also understand that it's like something you invest in to be able to have fresh water while you're living by the ocean. I also think it's important to note that the QuenchSea 3.0 can give you up to 2 gallons of water per hour, while most of these other ones I found that are higher priced can get you around 14 gallons per hour, which is a big difference based on how much water you need. So if that's enough water for you to get on a regular basis, then I would say it would work, but it really depends on your specific situation. And also remember that you will be hand pumping that anytime you need water, which could also be inconvenient depending on the person. And just to give the perspective of what some positives are, it is giving a solution to getting you fresh drinking water whilst living on the ocean. It can be compact and easy to carry around compared to the other machines because this one seems to be more lightweight and this one seems to have fewer parts than others, so that could make it easier to take care of, but at the same time that could also make it harder to replace the items. I'm not quite sure. I think the best way to go about this would be to try to do that homebrew yourself or find one secondhand that you can improve. I don't know if there's necessarily a market for those secondhand, but maybe check out Facebook Marketplace if you have access to that. See if someone's selling something similar to it that you can upgrade yourself. So I'm going to say pass on this for now, but if you aren't able to homebrew one yourself or find a solution, then this may be the way you go because it's less expensive, more compact, easier to travel with. That was a very long-winded way of saying I would pass on this for now. This year we are focusing on quality products and consuming less, which is exactly what I want to talk to you guys about today's sponsor, Vooglam, leading the industry in high-quality eyewear for everyone. They sent me 4 pairs to try out, and I am obsessed with each and every one of them. First up, we have Spine, sporting a delicate gold frame with an intricate temple design inspired by thorns, symbolizing resilience and grace. I am in love with the avant-garde style of these frames and how they upgrade a minimalist look or pair so beautifully with high fashion. Next up, we have these brown glasses in the style Pierce. These glasses have a strong yet sophisticated feel to them that is balanced out with these silver piercings above each eye. The bold square gives a very gender neutral feel, which I love. And it also goes with literally everything in my closet because you guys know I'm an earth tone girly. But the best part of these glasses are the photochromic lenses. The lenses adjust based on the light around you, which means they stay clear when I'm inside, but they darken and give me full UV protection when I'm outside. Did I mention you can add prescription to these too? Multi-purpose lenses are in because you don't have to buy multiple pairs just to have the different functions you need every single day. The third pair I got to try are the Navoa glasses with red metal outlines and tortoiseshell frames. These are exactly the glasses I've been looking for years. They bring a very retro yet urban style to every outfit, and I just can't get over how this wide aviator temple creates the most beautiful contrast between classic and modern design. Of course, I had to check out the Eco line by Vooglam. I picked up the Eco JL glasses with blue light lens. These glasses have the most gorgeous brown to pink ombre that brings out a little bit of a touch of femininity in any look. The Eco line focuses on using cotton and wool pulp to make all of their lenses, which have proven to break down in as little as 150 days. But now let's take a look at these blue light lenses. As someone who works from a computer on the daily, but also prioritizes getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night, blue light lenses have been a game changer. They reduce the strain on my eyes, and as someone who deals with chronic migraines, they've helped them become less frequent and persistent. So if you're ready to upgrade your style, vision, and functionality of your lenses, be sure to go grab a pair at vooglam.com today. And thank you so much to Vooglam for sponsoring today's video. The second item we're going to be looking at is the Babaa Sweater. Babaa Sweater? I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know if it's Baba even or Baba. There is an accent over the A. So feel free to let me know in the comments. I was asked by the person who submitted this to influence you, so I will. But it is with good reason. So the person who submitted this said that the Baba is especially special to them because they are Spain-based and a Spanish citizen, and this is a Spanish company. They are based in Barcelona, and I think it's very nice that you want to support a local company that's doing amazing things. I really want to take note of how amazing and transparent their entire process of creating these pieces is. If you go on their website, it explains the process from picking out the colors and designs all the way to the finished product. They name their employees, the people they work with, the farmers they partner with. It is some of the most easy to understand and beautifully laid out transparency I have ever seen as a consumer. And I really, really, really want to note that because this is what I wish I could see from more brands. This is the kind of change I want to see when it comes to transparency. They work with people who have been working in this industry for a very long time, are true experts in their crafts, and work in family run businesses, passing their art from each generation to generation. As I'm sure you know, these pieces are going to be a big investment. So it's something that I think is very important to make sure you have money set aside for, that you are ready to invest it into. Part of the section I was reading on them, they talk about how they really take pride in their ability to create pieces that the longer you wear them, the even more amazing they feel, the better quality they are, which is amazing. We want pieces that last and feel better the more you wear them. I don't think I mentioned this, but they use all natural raw materials, so that would be wool and cotton. Another positive is they are currently having a winter sale. Now y'all know how I feel about sales. Personally, don't believe it's an excuse to buy something just to buy it to save money when you didn't have the intention of buying it in the first place. But if they have the colorway or the style, ideally both, that you are looking for on sale, now might be the time to do that, because it seems to me, the way you wrote your message, that you truly have been thinking about this for a long time, and it's not something you're taking lightly, and it really means a lot to you, and I really appreciate that. But I also don't think that that should be the deciding factor, like whether it's on sale or not. If it's on sale, that's an added bonus, or you can wait until it goes on sale. I do stand by the rule of trying to find things secondhand, so I looked on Depop to see if you could find these, and I found a lot of them in really, really good condition. The prices is similar to the sale prices on the website right now. So I would say if you have access to Depop or any other online resale platform, if you are able to find the exact style, size, colorway you are looking for, go for it there. I would say that that's a really good option. But if not, I also think just supporting the company upfront directly by buying your ideal product that you're going to wear for a very, very, very long time, and you know that you're going to wear it for a very long time, I 100% would say yes, go for this. Next up, we have the Pentel P200 mechanical pencils. Y'all asking me to de-influence you on pens and pencils? I am here to help you. They look sleek, okay? They look sleek. But how many pens and pencils do you already have that need to be used? Realistically, I love a good pen or pencil. Like, don't get me wrong, I love when you find the perfect one that just feels so nice in your hands and you love the way it writes. But if you already have other ones you need to go through those first and then look for your perfect pencil that you can get. I will say these are refillable, so getting a refillable pencil can be good if you really, really love it. I also want to know, have you actually tested out these pencils or do you just think you will like them? Have you physically gone into a store and tried them and made sure it like feels really good? Another thing I want to know is these are on Amazon. I would love to see if you could find them somewhere else other than Amazon. I know Amazon is a very accessible place. One of my goals this year is to try to not first go to Amazon for everything and actually put in the time and effort to like seek it out in local shops, smaller stores, or even just like physical stores around me versus Amazon. I would say look at like a local art store or a craft store or a school supply store. They might have them. And maybe you try out different ones that weren't even the one that you were looking at, but you find a pencil that you love even more and you get that one. And then you're able to just go to your local art store and refill on the lead whenever you need it. And you're supporting a small business. And the last thing I want to ask you is, will you take care of them and keep track of them, or will they get broken or lost that you have to constantly replace them? This is an issue I had a lot with mechanical pencils when I was in high school. I would get the pack of 3 Papermate ones. I was able to keep track of them enough that I only had to get a pack of 3 of them and it lasted me from freshman through senior year. But by the end of senior year, I only had 1 left. I was pushing it. Are you able to keep track of them that you'll have them for a very, very long time? Because even 4 years to lose 3 pencils is just like, how could I not keep track of them? Why was I not putting them back where they belong? Ask yourself those questions. For me, it would be a pass. I personally have plenty of random pens and pencils sitting around that I need to go through. And then once I got through those, then I would consider going to a local store looking for some before buying them from Amazon. All right, item number 5. I don't even know. Y'all, I feel insane admitting this. Y'all got me real good with this one because tell me why I was gonna say no and then I ended up getting gifted this thing for Christmas. I had never heard of a yarn bowl before. That is what this person submitted, was a yarn bowl. They do crocheting and they would like a yarn bowl, but they aren't sure if it's actually worth it. I started knitting this year and I have a lot of projects that I would love to do. For Christmas, my boyfriend, who has seen my love for knitting develop over the past couple months, he got me a yarn bowl. I'll insert a picture here. Is a giant mug, which is so on brand for me because we both love coffee. If you've seen my vlog, you've seen my coffee setup. I love coffee. I make coffee at home every single day. To tell you, I was baffled. I was shocked, but I was also in love with it when I opened it because he took the time to think of that by himself and get it for me. I'm talking about myself too much here. The point is, I did not know what these were. Had you told me what this was, I probably would have immediately said, no, that's probably not a very necessary thing. Since owning one, I think they are very, very nice, and I do plan to get as much use as possible out of it. I will say some downsides to it is if you like to travel while you're knitting, you cannot carry that with you. It is heavy ceramic, it's not portable. Another thing, you can only put 1 ball of yarn in it at a time. My sweater I'm working on has 2 balls, so I have to constantly be switching them out, and sometimes I can get them a little bit tangled. Like the yarn can get a little bit tangled, which can be a little inconvenient. But as far as when I'm just knitting in the round, yes, it is very convenient to like have the yarn keep coming just at a consistent rate and not have to like unwind a bit and then hope it doesn't get knotted by the time I get to it. So what I would say is, unless you feel like you are dying to have one, don't get it. It is not a necessity. So I'm going to very politely say no on this one. Feels wrong because I have it. But I think for me, as someone who likes to knit, like while I'm on the train a lot, I'm not going to get as much use out of it as I would hope, but I'm still going to use it as much as possible. And I love it because my partner thought of it all on his own and noticed how much I'm loving knitting. And he got that for me. And he also got me a book of patterns for sweaters. So I have so many new sweaters And y'all can roast me in the comments for saying this after getting gifted one for Christmas. I love mine and I'm going to use it, but I think I'm more inclined to use it because my partner got it for me, thinking of it himself, and that is really, really sweet to me. So I think it's more of a sentimental thing than a necessity thing. And I just want to do one more little honorable mention. Somebody asked for a good alternative to plastic Ziploc bags. And admittedly, this is something that I'm not very good about myself, and it's something I would like to improve on. I tried out those silicone reusable bags when I was in college. This could just be me being lazy, I'm not sure. They were kind of a hassle to clean. You're supposed to be able to turn them inside out to like let them sit and dry, and the ones I got just would not stay folded out, and I was dealing with the issue of I could never get them fully dry, and I was always worried about mold growing in them. I looked into a couple of different alternatives, but I'm going based off of like internet recs and reviews that I found. So, besides the silicone reusable pouches, these are the other two options I found. Bumpkin's reusable washable sandwich bags. So, these are made out of a material that you can just throw directly in the washer, which I think is way easier than having to clean them out and like make them stay flipped inside out so they can dry. They are sold on Amazon, but also their own website. So I would obviously recommend buying them from their website if you want them. And the patterns are not like super great in my opinion. They feel kind of kiddish, but like that's something I would get over if I was solely looking for it for the purpose of just being a Ziploc bag. Like, who cares? If you're trying to be more sustainable, I feel like that's more important than what the pattern of the bag is. Other idea I found is compostable Ziploc bags. I don't know how great these are, but they are freezer safe. This person was specifically talking about freezing food that they prepared, but I don't know like if it would kind of be a paper straw situation where it like low key disintegrates as you're using it. So those are possibilities of things to look into, but I personally don't know exactly what's a good option. If anyone has any recommendations, feel free to leave them down in the comments. But with all that being said, that is today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications so you get notified every single time I upload a new video, and hit that thumbs up button because it really helps out the channel. And I think that's everything. So I'll see you in the next video. Love you. Bye.